Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Pigskin Isn't Just for Cooking podcast. This is the Commissioner with the Dish, Adam Bullock, here with Evan Forbes, kissing cousins. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm good. Always ready to talk about football.
Dad, it's so fun talking about football. It brightens my day, brightens my week. I think hopefully it brightens the listeners' weeks too, getting to listen to us.
Here's hoping.
Jib jab around. Let's start off with congratulating best team of the week, Mile High.
Oof.
225.89 points this week.
Yeah, he had a fantastic week.
Absolutely.
But he wasn't the only one.
There were 3 200 scores, right? And on the cusp of 4.
Yeah.
I want to say Melvin was pretty close to there.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Having a 200 week is awesome. Having 2 people have a 200 week, that's crazy. But then you have 3 people over 200. Like, what is going on? And a lot of it comes from one game. But
right.
Yeah, Melvin was right there, 189, I think is what this says. But
I remember his projection being up there. A tough week. And it just goes to show that anyone can blow up at any time. I'm waiting for that week. I think I'll have 1 week going over 200, I hope.
I always hope one a year. So I haven't gotten it yet.
Right.
On the other end of that, though, the lowest score of the week was, unfortunately, Beetle. Under 100. It happens every year. Somebody's got to do it.
Right.
Beetle got it out of the way early.
Yes, and that's generally his thing. He gets it out of the way early. Of course, this was an odd few weeks for him. I think he was just super busy. He didn't really play much. He was missing multiple players for 2 weeks.
Hey, he's on the waiver wire now, baby.
Yeah, he's doing moves. He's making moves. Maybe he listened to the podcast and really just like, bro,
there you go.
It's time.
Cross my fingers.
It's time to make some moves. He's got a tight end just in time for his tight end Kittle to come back and play. It's perfect timing.
Hey, better late than never.
That works. Yeah, but moves are good.
Now he's got a backup.
So yeah, congratulations to everybody. It was a great week. Mm-hmm. We're about to go into week 3. Man, time is flying. We're moving right on in.
Yeah, we're there.
Yeah, I love it. Fantasy football. Let's get to Let's move right on into the news then.
Oh, well, I'm sorry because I did not have a perfect podcast last week, and I don't know if I'm going to have one. So before we do news, we have to do some corrections.
You're right.
Oops.
Oops?
Oops, like that's the best job you've ever done, oops, right?
Please tell me you did not just make a mistake.
Well, half of one.
Again, it's only ever me making these mistakes. And, I think I just say things with such authority that Adam just lets it go.
I believe with him. I believe him. I go. It's like, yeah, you're right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mike McCarthy is definitely the coach for the Chiefs. He's not. I know it's Andy Reid. I pulled the wrong coach name. I do know that Mike McCarthy is the new Dallas coach. Other one I got wrong is I attributed 3 touchdowns in the air for the Chicago-San Francisco game. That's wrong because Deebo Samuel actually rushed a touchdown in. I attributed him for a receiving touchdown. So it was 2 rushing, 2 catching. Each team had 1 of each.
That was a fun game, though.
It was
fun game to watch. Week 1.
Slip and slide.
Yeah, I loved it. It was great. But Forbes, you will have a good podcast.
Yeah, not a perfect one, but a good one.
I'm going to tell you, every podcast we do isn't perfect, but to me, it's perfect.
Oh, heck
This is a great time.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah, indeed. And right on to the news, right? Let's get this going. Ooh.
Here we go.
Who will the Patriots' #1 receiver be this weekend? My brothers are fantasy warriors. We share our knowledge with one another. Whatever my brother knows, I know. And all of their knowledge will be mine. I'm gonna crush you guys this week.
I love it every time. And it's being quoted in our league, too.
Yeah, that's really fun. That's really cool.
It's the cherry on top. Trey Lance. Sad news. Season over.
Speaking of, man.
Bad broken ankle, right? 2 places. Surgery. Surgery went well, though.
Right. That's
from
good.
What I've heard.
That is a bummer. Yeah, season-ending injuries, you hate to see it. You really do, especially for somebody so young. You know what I mean?
Big hit for Raul.
Big hit for Raul. Big hit for his team, though? Not his fantasy football team, his 49er team.
Yes.
You
both,
think so? Yeah.
actually.
I mean...
I don't know. Jimmy G, some say, could be a superior quarterback.
People in our league say he's a superior quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them. Well, superior to Trey Lance or just superior in general?
Superior to. Oh, I'm comparing the two. Yeah.
Okay.
So some say superior to Trey Lance. Trey Lance is the, you know, the new football. Like
Sure.
he's the new quarterback. The new
Right.
how people are drafting quarterbacks now. How they're making them in college football.
Yeah,
they're being
it's starting
built.
earlier.
Right. It's,
Right.
At 6 years old, this kid was.
Right. Pretty much.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be. Obviously, they won a game without him this past week with Jimmy G. So, but yeah, you would like to see him go a whole season with the 49ers, and
Do you have Jimmy G?
I do.
That's good for you. Is that tradable?
Are
you thinking about it?
I'm trading him. I might have to keep him and put him in place of a quarterback on my bench or on my team that I start without thinking about
Really?
every
Joe
week.
Burrow?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll talk about it.
Well, we will talk about it indeed. So we'll just keep moving on before we just talk about Trey Lance and wander off into our football stream.
Into an hour and a half behind.
Yeah, just about our teams. Marlon Mack making moves. I feel like we talk about him every week. Is now on the active roster on the 49ers.
Yeah, and this might have changed because this Marlon Mack and the Niners news change day to day. Last time I saw, he is on the active roster for the 49ers. And Tyrion David Price, apparently he had that high ankle sprain, so he's out 4 to 6 weeks. So I think this is a lot of just kind of balancing it out because you just lost Elijah Mitchell.
Right.
Well, you didn't lose him. You don't have him for a couple of games. When is he?
He's injured. I don't remember how much, but
okay.
I mean,
Didn't know if there was a time.
I think 4 to 6, 2 to 6 weeks is the average of any injury.
Right. That's
exactly. So he's gonna miss 2 to 6 games.
That's like, how long is my wait going to be? About 10 to 15.
Right.
No matter how long it's going to be, that's just what you say.
Right.
I gotcha.
That's true, but that's exciting. We talked about Marlon Mack every week. I was excited for him on the Texans, but he just didn't. It's hard to impress when everyone's all over Dameon Pierce. This is Dameon Pierce, right? Yeah.
Yeah, apparently. They keep saying. I mean, he did a little bit better this past week, so.
He's still a rookie. He'll get there, right?
Absolutely.
Zach Wilson on the way back, right?
Yeah, for the Jets.
Yeah.
Does the Jets want him back right now?
I don't know.
Flacco had a heck of a comeback.
Out there flinging footballs.
His little Flacco flinger.
It was. That's going to be an overarching theme this week. Teams that lost the game rather than teams that necessarily won the game.
Fact.
And that's one of them, the Browns and Jets.
Dan Cook had Cooper Rush in his lineup for the longest time. And like the last minute, the day before, he threw in Joe Flacco, and I was giving him so much crap for it. Mostly just to do it. I didn't really think one way or another one would be better, but man.
Just to give him crap.
But after what Flacco did, and then, of course, his starting was Tua, he roughed me up pretty bad this past week.
Yeah.
Dan had a really good week. He might be a scarer for me, maybe a terror for the season. We'll see.
That's
his
true.
team's starting to grow
and
a little bit.
We'll hit on that
Honestly,
here a little bit. But I definitely see there's been some teams that bombed last week and then, boosted this week.
Sure.
So
I think I hate people getting hurt, but I think Dak Prescott getting hurt might have been the best thing for Dan's team because it made him switch some things up and think about it instead of just locking and forgetting. Because he put I think he's about to put Tony Pollard in. I don't think he did last week.
No,
which he should have.
I'm pretty sure he was benched. He's one of those.
Anyways, back to Flacco. If Flacco keeps playing like he did, I don't know if Zach Wilson is necessarily going to be a starter when he comes back in week 4 if he comes back.
Agreed. Speaking of Dan, his tight end, Dalton Schultz, PCL issue in the knee. Last I read, though, he was practicing, doing okay.
Sure.
Is that, I'm not too sure about all the knee stuff, but it seems like it's a playable issue. It's about pain management at this point.
Right. Like everything. PCL, it's right there, I believe, on the, I don't know if it's on the top of your knee or
like
underneath.
The patella? Could be.
It's a posterior something. I don't know. Like I just looked it up, immediately forgot it. What I will say is it's a bummer for the Cowboys.
Yes.
But for Dan, he's got plenty of tight ends.
Yeah,
So
he does.
He's fine.
He's normally been playing three.
He
tight
was playing
ends.
3 for. I mean, he still has 3 in his
weekly.
lineup. He has
Right.
Pitts, Schultz, and Fearmouth. We had them in his lineup last week,
Right.
so he's going to be fine. But the Dalton Schultz, that's just another blow to the Cowboys. But we'll see if it affects them. It didn't affect them last week.
I guess that's just the Cowboys year to year, just dealing with blows.
Yeah, and including from everybody because they are the punching bag of the NFL right now.
That's okay.
Finally, the last little bit of news here. I'm liking to do this section. It's just questionables that are still in our lineups. So all these people are listed as officially questionable, and they are all in active lineups around our league, starting with Justin Herbert and Alvin Kamara in my lineup.
Tough, dude.
Tough stuff. I mean, that's
tough
number
break.
1 quarterback, number 1 running back.
Cracked
for me.
cartilage, and what's Alvin Kamara dealing with?
Cracked cartilage.
Both of them?
Yeah. Is it me?
Yeah.
Is it me at this
It
point?
is you.
Yeah, I looked that up. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, these cats, I've never heard of the injury before. And now 2 of my number 1 players have it in the same week. What is happening?
Do you think they're going to play?
I don't know. Even if they do, I don't know if I'm going to. I don't know if I can play Kamara. But if I don't, he's going to blow up. I don't know, man.
Whoa.
Dude,
that's a big prediction.
I've got about 12 hours to think about it, so I'll get it figured out. Besides that, Daskell has Fortnite on his in his starting lineup. He is listed as officially questionable.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big bummer too because you don't have Mike Evans this week because of his suspension. You don't have Chris Godwin this week.
Yeah.
So Tampa Bay really needs all the help they can get. If he's healthy, you got to play him because he's going to have a heck of a game.
Or, or Cameron Brate.
Right. On to you, Kamish. You've got Hawkinson in your lineup still.
I think he's going to play. But who knows? I really wish I played Njoku.
Yeah.
After the fact, obviously. But I couldn't trust him yet.
Well, Njoku, that was last week.
No, that was this Thursday.
Right.
I could have played him
yeah,
this week.
I saw it. Right. I'm
Yes.
thinking because we're going to talk about last week. I was getting mixed up.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll catch up. I
Yeah.
could have played him this week, but
could've.
he hadn't proven himself yet. None of my Titans have,
Sure.
which is a big bummer.
Yeah.
Because that's why I will not win fantasy football this season. If I don't, I blame it on my Titans.
For sure. Next up, questionable in lineups would be Chris Alex, and he's got James Conner in his lineup still. He is questionable.
James Conner, questionable. Yes, that's
a bummer.
that's a big blow. Well, maybe not because he still has McCaffrey.
Right. He's running Connor
and
as a flex
Barkley.
option at this point.
Right.
Yeah, because
That's
you
good.
guys.
Yeah, put him in your flex. Absolutely.
Right. So yeah, it's not a killer to his team, but man, I bet he was really, excited for an extra, 15, 16 points in his flex spot from Connor. But it says in his notes, it is truly questionable. Truly questionable. I don't know if that's more than officially or
Good
less
thing
than
he's in the
officially.
flex then, right? With that, I would think he's not playing.
Yeah,
just because truly not playing.
Right. You've got till the afternoon games to figure it out. So good luck to you. Trying to move on because these podcasts are going to get long now because I love talking about football so much.
We're gonna be fine. We're fine as long as the listeners are okay. We're fine.
Yeah, for sure. Mike Melvin's got DeAndre Swift and Jared Judy in his lineup. I would love to see DeAndre Swift play because I've been kind of excited to see the Lions play.
Yes,
They've had some
absolutely.
games.
Well, they score lots of points.
And they have lots of points scored on them. So it's fun on both sides,
It's just, yeah, we could potentially put Detroit in the mashup for highest scoring on a weekly basis.
Dude, yeah. We'll talk about that here in a second. But yeah, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So I hope he plays. And again, Jared Judy is something to watch for him. The last person to have an injured or questionable player in their lineup is Dan. He's got Corey Davis in his lineup for the Jets. Hope he plays. I'd like to see another. See, that's the thing is, are the Jets going to play like that again every week? Probably not.
Who knows? Well, they have the potential, man. They've just been trying to build around their young quarterback.
Yeah.
And we'll see, if that works. So, yeah, with that, another couple injuries. There's Myers questionable, Jameis Winston. Did I read that he has a broken back?
He's had fractures in his back, and he played last week.
Just constantly just man with a broken back.
I guess,
like
man.
Tony Romo.
Yes, apparently.
He's just the new
Yeah.
Tony Romo.
Flashes of Romo.
What a great way to live up. And with that, that's the news. That's some questionables.
Yeah.
Do we want to hit on?
Did you mention Sammy Watkins?
I did not actually. News breaking this today.
Yeah.
This week, today, Sammy Watkins moved to the IR. I think that's a big blow for Green Bay.
Yeah.
And a very confusing wide receiver room.
I think of Green Bay receivers now like I think of the Baltimore running backs. Most of them are owned in our league, and you're not playing any of them in your starting lineup. Like most of the receivers for Green Bay are picked up by somebody. I've
Someone
got one
has
of them.
them.
You know what I mean?
Which one do you have?
I have A. Rodgers, not Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Amari.
That could be a play this week.
This week or which week? You know what I mean? It's kind of like, that's why I'm saying like the Baltimore running backs, they're all owned by somebody.
Which one is it going to be?
Exactly. So it's a bummer. They're really going to have to lean on that ground game. But yeah.
Yeah, but that's big news today. Just dropping. Da-na-na, da-na-na.
Great. Now we're getting copyrighted.
Oh shoot. Let's crap. Let's edit that one out.
Yeah.
So let's move right on into week 1 review. I called it.
Week 2.
Week 2.
Yeah, this is second
the
week.
notes say week 1. My bad.
I messed the notes
No,
up.
it's okay. It's okay. Week 2 review.
Yes.
Let's correct now, so I don't have to correct next week. Now, thus a perfect podcast, right?
Yeah.
I called it Miami-Baltimore, highest scoring game of the week. Baltimore lost that game. Here we are back to that theme. Baltimore lost that game.
More than the Dolphins won
the
it.
game. Yes.
Sure. And I agree with that. It looked like, a decent game. Like Baltimore was just, doing work. Started off with a 103-yard return for Devernay.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of picked up from there. Jackson had 119 yards on the ground. He had more than all the other running backs on both teams combined. By a yard. But still had more.
Still, that's both teams combined.
Both teams combined, he had more rushing yards.
Yeah, they combined for 118 yards.
And then I guess in the third quarter, Baltimore messed up that fair catch, and
Yep.
Miami got the ball, and then it was just on. It was just on.
They gave
for
them the
Dolphins.
opportunity, and they took it. They lost the game.
Yeah, Baltimore lost the game. But that being said, huge for our league. The two quarterbacks in this game were the highest two scoring quarterbacks this week,
Yes.
and Jackson.
Both over 60 points, I believe.
Yeah, I was separated only by a few points. It was a really, really good game for both those quarterbacks and for the receivers in that game as well. The quarterbacks, Tua had 66, Jackson had 63, separated by 3 points. Just discussing, Tyreek Hill for Johnny had a disgusting 52 points. Just gross. 2 touchdowns for over 40 yards. That'll do it. 52
Yeah, the
points.
40-yard bonus in our league. Yep.
And then I've got Waddle, who, again, had 2 touchdowns. He had a plus 40 reception. I feel like Jalen Waddle kind of held the first part of the game.
19 targets. They are throwing the ball. 13 targets to Tyreek Hill, too.
Oh, he loves Waddle. And I feel like they figured it out because, okay, Tyreek's getting covered. Waddle's got it. Oh, they're going to adjust to Waddle? Well, guess what? You just let Tyreek Hill just go off. Just take off. Full disclosure, I went over the games just by numbers, right? Going over what they, said in our sleeper app as far as yards and points and things like that. But then last night and yesterday, I get to actually watch a lot of the highlights for the games that I didn't get to watch live. That was one I didn't get to watch live, and man, was that a fun game to watch. Highlights.
The highlights were, because it's all highlights at this point.
Right.
Big touchdowns, multiple over 40-yard touchdowns, rushing and receiving.
Mm-hmm.
Returns, kickoff returns. This was fun football.
Fun football. But the running backs did absolutely nothing pretty much on both sides of the ball. The Ravens running backs totaled for no more than 3 points in our league.
Right.
It was bad news on that
Are
side.
you worried about Mostert out touching Edmonds?
Yeah, I'm worrying about. Yes, I am worrying about Chase Edmonds because I kind of did trade him thinking he's going to be a solid flex at least,
And I think you still can.
and hopefully he might inch his way up to maybe a running back too, right?
Right.
But now, yeah, I am getting a little worried, and especially since my running back depth is getting shallower and shallower. Yeah, I'm worried.
Gotcha.
A little scary.
Well, there might be a Jimmy Garoppolo running back trade here in the future. Just predictions.
Yeah, for sure.
It's only week 3.
Right. Huge game, fellas. Huge games. Mark Andrew, can't forget about him. 25 points. for
Always going to
Raul.
score in the 20s. Always. The top tight end in our league.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So tough.
Absolutely.
So that's what I was hoping to find gold with some tight ends this year, but yeah, I guess it's just fool's gold.
Yeah. Fool's gold. That's, yeah, for sure. Huge game. Huge game.
Next game up was Jets Cleveland, right? Another game lost.
Yeah.
Yes, rather than won, in our opinion. Granted, this is just our opinion, but fun. Joe Flacco showed up, flinging the flingers, like we said earlier. Yeah, and we saw the rookies for Jets step up. Brees Hall with 7 carries for 50 yards, 1 reception for 10 yards and a touchdown.
First of his NFL career.
Yes, Garrett Wilson with 14 targets with 8 receptions, over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Good for them.
Can't remember if he got a touchdown last week or not for week 1. But, again, he is a rookie this year, too, so these guys are stepping up and figuring it out. I'm glad Brees Hall is doing well because, like we said, and we heard him say in the preseason, he was a little nervous that he didn't understand the scheme coming out of college, and it seems like he's getting it figured out. So,
Right.
And on the other end, Nick Chubb, he's got the most. I believe he's number 1 in attempts right now in the league.
Yes, absolutely. I think he had over 20. He had like almost 29 touches last week.
Yeah, this week he had 17 carries. I think he was the top scoring running back this week as well, Nick Chubb.
I can go and take a look.
Yeah, just huge. I mean, Kareem Hunt behind him, 8.4. He did a lot, 13 carries for 58. I don't know. But yeah, Nick Chubb, highest scoring running back this week. Congratulations, Dan. Again, one of the reasons why this guy was in the 200s.
Yes.
In our league.
Yes, it was really big.
Mari Cooper, I think he made a great move to Cleveland. 20 points. 100 yards and a touchdown. Yeah. I think he made the wise choice getting out of Dallas.
Mark Cooper's going to do good anywhere he went.
Sure.
I see. I was most surprised about Brissett, to be honest.
Okay.
Well, I've always been backing Brissett, but I knew that it's a run-first team. They're just airing out the ball, that week and on Thursday. But we'll cover that here in a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But very fun. Moving right along.
Washington and Detroit. Washington lost to Detroit. 27-36. So the Lions have scored 71 points in 2 weeks. Now that is tied for the second highest points in the NFL in 2 weeks, tied with the Chiefs. Number 1, of course, is the Bills.
Yes, Bills are.
They scored a lot. But the Lions have 71 points scored in the last 2 weeks. Then again, they've also had 65 points scored against the Lions. And that is the highest in the NFL for points scored against. And again, this is 2 weeks. I'm trying to do a lot with numbers, but I don't have a lot of numbers to work with.
Yeah,
so
just 2
take
weeks
these
worth
with
of
a
numbers.
grain. But yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised at the Lions and what they're doing. Jared Goff is getting some stuff figured out.
Yeah.
Having DeAndre Swift obviously isn't hurting you. Yeah, I guess these are the kind of games that are making Carson Wentz and his receivers do well, but Carson Wentz and his receivers are doing well.
They are. He has 4 wide receivers in the double digits this week. Curtis Samuel at 19 points, Dotson at 17, Milne at 17, and McLaurin at 10, which is kind of weird because you would think McLaurin's their number 1.
Sure.
But with that comes the number 1,
Coverage.
Yeah.
And I had said last week that, those 3 guys, Samuel, Dotson, and McLaurin, because week 1, again, all 3 of them overprojected. McLaurin actually underprojected this week. But I said, those are 3 guys, you're starting them every week, not realizing that it was Raul and Johnny that had those other 2 guys. And really, I looked at their lineups. I don't know who I would even take out of their lineups to put one of those guys in, even knowing that they are over projecting the last 2 weeks. Now, granted, they did play the Lions, and then last week they played the Jaguar? No.
Yeah. No, I think it was the Jaguars.
Washington Jaguars? Yeah, they sure did. So, I mean, is it the defense why these guys are having huge, catches in the air? I don't know, but it's something to think about, something to look at.
Yeah, I could definitely see figuring out how to get one of those guys in the lineup, maybe in a flex spot, because they're going to overproject.
For sure.
Right.
And we'll talk about what I think they're going to do this week against their team they're playing this week, but I think the Washington receivers are something to keep an eye on.
Let's do it. I love it. Next up, Indy Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Woof, Indy.
Yeah.
My high hopes have been smashed.
With Ryan? With Matt Ryan?
It's just Indy at this point.
Were they winning your Super Bowl?
Yep.
They were.
It could be just a rough start. It could be pulling a beetle. We don't know.
Wait until, second half, last 2/3,
Yeah,
and start
just
really ramping up.
Make the playoffs and then shine from there. Because
Yeah.
they could be a playoff team. And
Yeah.
they should be. But they have the worst record in football right now?
They got shut down is what they got.
Yes.
Literally. They scored no points.
I guess the Bengals have the worst. And Tennessee. They're
Yeah.
0-2.
Oh,
They at
actually,
least have a
0-2.
tie. So,
Right. They've only lost 1 game, technically.
that's tough. 0-24.
Yeah.
Jacksonville taking that. Matt Ryan only scoring 3 points. Not showing up. They were down their number 1 wide receiver for the game. Trevor Lawrence scoring 24 points. James Robinson, again, way out touching Travis Etienne. Just like last year. Christian Kirk showing that he's the number 1 over there with 22 points.
Doing very well
Yes,
in Jacksonville.
Right? Man, and I traded him away.
He's
That's
used to the
okay.
heat. He's just used to the heat. It's nothing for him.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit more human now.
That's right.
I'm
Yeah,
dumb.
out of Arizona.
But yeah, rough
dry
rough game.
heat.
Rough game.
Very rough game.
And the thing is, that game, there's really nobody else to talk about except Christian Kirk, really. And then if you played Trevor Lawrence, which you probably didn't. So just a tough game. The Jaguars defense did something, but nobody has him in our league. So what are you going to do?
What? Pick him up. Pick him up off the waivers.
So the next game after that, speaking of defenses, was the Tampa Bay and New Orleans game. Tampa Bay won 20-10. I feel like the Tampa Bay defense is what won this game for them.
Yes.
Tom Brady is not the same Tom Brady. I think that's becoming a little bit more clear. I mean, I feel like commentators talk about that every single year. Oh, this is the year he's finally starting to show his age. It's like, well, maybe now this is, I don't know if it's the team, it's the coach, whatever, but it was the defense that got him through that game.
And I think that's going to be pretty normal for the rest of the season. I think the Tampa Bay D is going to help carry that team.
Yeah. Then, of course, you had that nice fight in the middle of the game where Mike Evans got himself a nice juicy suspension.
Yeah, nice 1-game suspension. Throwing blows out there.
One punch. That's all it'll do.
Yeah, the old one-punch man. My guy, Chris Olave, still doing good. Had 13 targets, but only caught 5 of them.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks.
That's about yeah. Michael Thomas was there, so he showed up, of course, again with a touchdown and 65 yards in the air. Wasn't played. He was on Raul's bench.
Yeah.
Again, some guys just have enough receivers; they don't need to plug a Michael Thomas in. So
Yeah, and Leonard Fournette definitely underprojecting, and was quoted being sorry to fantasy owners for
Is that
not
right?
scoring more points.
how do you feel about that?
I love it.
You do,
Yes, that means this guy plays fantasy football,
for sure. I don't know. Okay,
which is kind of a weird gray area because it is
yeah, just play football,
semi-sports
man.
betting
Yeah,
on sports.
kind of.
I wonder if he drafted himself.
You shouldn't be allowed to do it unless you draft yourself in the first round. That should be
Yes.
the stipulation. If you're
That
going to
was
do
me.
it, you have to pick yourself first round. No
And
questions.
with an Instagram post of him showing that number 1 overall myself.
That's awesome.
Next up, we have Carolina against the Giants. Giants 2-0. That's pretty fun.
Crazy G-Man.
Yeah, nothing really spectacular about that game in my eyes, though.
Right.
It was just regular football.
Just, I mean, okay, so that's really what it is. It's not the new age of football. Not
Right.
your big flashy quarterback plays, not your big flashy defensive plays. I don't think there's really any forced fumbles or anything.
It was just football game.
Yeah, just ground and pound, and the score says everything. 19-16 Giants favor. I mean, that is a ground and pound score.
Yes. Yeah.
But because that was pretty much the only people that did anything was the runners. Saquon had 10 points for our league. Off of 21 carries, 72 yards.
That's potential 25 touches for him.
Yeah.
Compared to McCaffrey, who had only comparable 20
Mm-hmm.
touches, but McCaffrey better on the ground with 102 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Large rush over 40 yards.
Mm-hmm.
4 for 5 with 26 yards on receptions.
Slowly getting his way back to 2018 status,
2019
status.
That's good. Let's build it up.
Yeah.
He's not gonna pull the Adrian Peterson and come out and just whoa, he's back.
Yeah, for sure.
He's just gonna because he's also questionable but expected to play this week.
Oh, is that right?
I believe so.
Oh no, he's cleared.
Oh, he has been cleared. Gotcha.
He's off their injury reports as of yesterday.
Good. I've been working a lot. I got to catch up with this fantasy football stuff.
We're good.
So,
but yeah, my note was it was just a rough quarterback game. Neither quarterback had over 200 yards. So credit that to defense or quarterbacks. I don't know. But Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones, you're probably not starting either one of those quarterbacks if you can get away with it.
Right. Definitely flex plays or bye week plays if you need them.
For sure. Next up, we've got New England and Pittsburgh. New England took it 17-14. Again, I don't really feel like there's a whole lot of anything spectacular in this game. Spectacular in this game, except Aguilar. Aguilar
Perfect
had a
game.
Yeah, perfect game.
That's pretty spectacular.
28 points with, he did that with 6 receptions, caught all of them, 110 touchdowns, 110 yards with a touchdown that was over 40 yards. You couldn't ask for better stats than that.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of my pickup of the week right there.
Well, for Raul, because
Yeah.
he picked him up for free, or was it $2?
I don't remember, but
I don't either.
it was there. He picked up a couple people this week. He spent $2 total, but a perfect game. I still don't trust all the wide receivers at New England. It's hard. It's just the Belichick way, you don't know what's happening week to week. We don't know what their game script's going to be.
Sure.
Also, we don't know what the heck he's going to do.
Are you surprised Devontae Parker is not getting more action?
I'm actually very surprised about that.
I am too. I am too.
Yeah. He's a really good wide receiver.
I mean, he's coming over from Miami, right?
Yeah.
He should know how to play. I mean, I don't know. I feel like coming over from a rival team, I mean, maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's just too much bad blood. That sounds stupid to
Belichick's
say.
in there being like, yeah, I know we picked you up, but goddamn you for beating us.
Yeah, we we're paying you, but whatever. That's stupid to say, but yeah, I just expect a little bit more out of him, a little bit more work.
Yeah, but overall, another just football game, right?
Yeah,
17-14, win it by 3, we're done. But that's great.
Yeah, Naj didn't do anything spectacular on Pittsburgh's side. Neither did Harris. Harris had a touchdown, but not a whole lot else. So
We could be, we could be starting to see the downfall of old Mitchell Trubisky. But we'll see in a few more weeks.
Yeah.
And moving right along, Seattle versus San Francisco. Tough for Seattle. San Francisco, a little comeback here. We touched on it earlier. Lance, broken ankle.
That's a bad
Tough
beat.
hit.
Bad beat.
Garoppolo doing well though.
Yeah.
Being the highest paid backup quarterback in the league, he shows up. I'm surprised he wasn't traded.
Not anymore. He's not the highest paid backup quarterback in the league now because he's not a backup quarterback anymore.
No, now he's the lowest paid starting quarterback. How does that work?
I can't. We talked about that. I can't imagine he's getting less than some of these other starting quarterbacks.
Good showing out for San Francisco though.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing spectacular numbers wise for the quarterbacks, but
no.
Some nice Debo Samuel doing his Debo stuff, and Ayuk, 8 looks could be good. Do you think it's a better situation for the wide receivers with Garoppolo rather than Lance?
I do. With the combination of losing Elijah Mitchell too, I think the wide receivers in San Francisco are just going to have a better couple of games going along in the future until Elijah Mitchell gets healthy and back in the game. But, they added on Marlon Mack like we talked about. Yeah, I do like the rapport of Jimmy Garoppolo with some of these guys better than Trey Lance.
Gotcha. And that makes sense. They had a whole year together playing, starting football.
Even with not letting Jimmy Garoppolo even look at the playbook all through preseason and stuff and feared that he's going to a different team. Yeah, I still trust the rapport better.
Wow. Yeah, I was actually pretty astonished that they didn't end up trading Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Like, that's funny.
And now you can't.
No, absolutely not.
He's all you got.
Yeah, you can't do that. Good to see Tyler Lockett switch with DK Metcalf.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of going to be the way the season goes. Like, it's either going to be Lockett or Metcalf.
Sure, probably not both.
Right.
Except for the few and far between games.
I just don't see them both putting up double digits numbers.
Sure. You're still
doing
probably
that.
shouldn't be starting Geno Smith if you can get away with it.
Right.
Next up, we've got the Atlanta and LA Rams game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Atlanta put up a good showing. Only
They-
lost 27-31.
They're doing that.
When we did our picks, I erased my Atlanta-Seattle pick for next week, and we'll talk about why. But good, Drake London got his first touchdown of his NFL career, so he showed up as well as your guy Robinson.
Yeah, congratulations. I love it.
Yeah, got his first touchdown of the year on his new team. So that's got to be exciting for you. Again, you still have a lot of mouths to feed, but
Yeah, absolutely.
that's good.
Allen Robinson showing up is good news. Good news for me. I might play him this week. I haven't decided. I got some tinkering to do, I think.
Gotta do it.
Sometimes I just can't stop tinkering once you get going. But on the other hand, I'm also excited to see Atlanta really putting up points. Really exciting. At least I wasn't expecting that.
No, I wasn't either, and I think they're 0-2, which I expected kind of, but I didn't expect them to do as well in the games they lost.
Right.
Besides your guy, obviously Cooper Kupp had a massive day.
Always gonna have a massive day.
That's
It's
par
Cooper Kupp.
for the course, right? He's Cooper Kupp, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns. You can't ask for much better than that.
He did lose a fumble,
Sure, but you catch the ball so many times, you're going to lose at least one of them.
but he's already in the 20s on receptions, probably over 200 yards on the season.
Sure,
That's gonna be Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Mike Melvin, good for you for having him, man.
absolutely.
Hopefully Allen Robinson bleeds into that on a week-to-week basis.
Mm-hmm.
Just, it's out there.
Was that the game where the Rams allowed the safety, or no? Was that a different game that I saw? I know one of the teams allowed a safety just to run out the clock and win the game, and I want to say it was... No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think that was
Either
it.
way, the Falcons defense actually did some work this week. 2 interceptions with a touchdown, a safety, a block.
A block.
Yeah,
A
the Falcons...
fumble recovery, forced fumble.
Yeah.
Good on them.
Falcons going to be interesting to watch, I think, coming up. As more interesting than I thought they were going to be this year.
And unowned in the league.
The defense?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're going against Seattle this week, so...
We could see they're going to be a bye week
Yeah.
pickup if no one has another, defense.
Right.
Beetle.
The Beetle.
Hey, yeah, you might pick them up. That's exciting. Next up, Cincinnati, Dallas.
Did not.
Cooper Rush
See this
doing it for the
coming.
team. Did we both say Cincinnati?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, this
Why
is a game we both
Why
predicted
wouldn't
and lost
we?
on.
Why wouldn't we?
Yeah, I think the Bengals and Burrow might be in trouble, man. I just don't think they're getting enough protection. I mean, Burrow's been sacked 13 times this past 2 weeks.
Oh, man, he's got to be sore. He's a young man, but he's got to be sore.
I'm getting really nervous about this team because I had super high hopes for them this year.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of my Super Bowl predictions. It's just not going well. They need more protection from Burrow, and Burrow needs to, he needs to get the ball off quicker, I think, because I don't think a lot of it is his O-line. I think he's taking a little bit longer in the pocket. Granted, he's starting to have to move around the pocket a lot more than he probably should because of his O-line, but they both need to tighten things up a little bit. A little bit nervous.
Yeah, and T. Higgins outdoing Chase they almost split targets. T. Higgins was 6 for 10 with 71 yards and a touchdown. Jamar Chase was 5 for 9 for 54 yards and no touchdown.
Yeah, like you said, Cooper Rush, had a game, threw a touchdown.
Did it?
Yeah, they won the game.
It's Rush. It's Rush season.
Yeah. Tony Pollard had a really good day on the ground.
Absolutely. 19.8 points with 9 carries, 43 yards, and a touchdowns. Went 4 for 7 in the air with 55 yards and a reception over 40 yards.
Really good game. Really good game. And you know what? The Dallas receivers didn't do terribly either. I mean, Noah Brown ended the day with 91 yards and a touchdown, caught all 5 of his receptions. He had a perfect day.
Perfect day.
In my eyes.
That's trust, with CeeDee Lamb going 7 for 11, 75 yards. There's, you got to have someone catching the passes. So.
Yeah. So Dallas, they won the game. It's funny. I watched a lot of the replays last night, and I have in my notes because I was about 3 beers deep. Hey, Dallas, fix your GD scoreboard.
What's up with their scoreboard?
They keep hitting punts off of it. That's what keeps happening. They're punting the ball or kick. I think it's a punt that keeps hitting the top of their scoreboard. And then I forget what the rule is when that happens, because there is a rule now because it's happened multiple times.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's a special gameplay rule. It's silly. But yeah, Dallas beat the Bengals. That's weird, man. And they're finally playing an away game next week. Dallas is. So we'll see what happens. Next up, we have the Houston-Denver game. Houston lost 9-16. My note here was the quarterbacks, their stats are not great. Mills, 19 for 38. Wilson, 14 for 31.
It's an ugly football game. Probably the ugliest of the week.
I mean, it's just nothing really exciting going on. Neither Williams nor Gordon did a whole lot. I'm biased because I'm looking at numbers on a page rather than watching the game and seeing what was actually going on through the game. But it just didn't seem like the running game got anywhere for Denver.
Yeah, for really any team. Like the lone bright spot was Cortland Sutton. Mm-hmm. He was 7 for 11 for 122 yards. He broke the century mark, which was good. Good to see that. Yeah, but I think they were even getting booed at their home turf. Denver was.
You said something about that. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's tough. I think it's new coach woes, to be honest.
New coach, new quarterback woes.
Yeah, there's growing pains, right? Any new scheme, any new development.
Yeah.
I think them getting Russell Wilson. That they thought, oh, this is the year. And they might have to give it a year.
Sure. They came in with too high hopes, you're saying?
Yeah, I think so.
I believe that. Yeah, because other than that, there was not a whole lot else going on in this game for players. So.
Next up, Arizona, Las Vegas.
Overtime game.
Fun! I love overtime games. They're my favorite. Really surprised that, Las Vegas is 0-2, but them's the breaks.
I thought they were going to be 1-1 after this game. I called Vegas, you called Arizona, you won this one. And rightfully so. Kyle Murray coming out really good. He had 2 2-point conversions for that game. It's weird.
Actually, I think it's 2 2-point conversions.
And
one in the air, one on the ground.
Yeah, and the one on the ground, I timed it because it's a 2-point conversion, so the clock is not running. It was a 20-second scrambling play that he eventually ran into the end zone.
That sounds exhausting.
20 seconds. Yeah. I brought up my stopwatch.
Stop watching it.
He was all over the place, and he still made it in for 2. So. Yeah, really good on him. Yeah,
really putting that momentum to him. He got the big pay raise this year. He's got to make sure that he gets it. He almost had 50 attempts.
Yeah, he threw
49 attempts.
A lot.
Throwing the ball. Well, I mean, when you lose your main running back, James Conner, you'll be throwing more. But
for sure.
You spread the ball out quite a bit, to be honest.
Yeah, in the air and on the ground a little bit too. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, the biggest running back of the night was Darrell Williams. He had his touchdown off of 8 carries for 59 yards, and he had a couple receptions for hardly anything. But yeah, Kyler Murray put 277 in the air. Just a solid game for him. I thought he was going to have this game last week, and he didn't against the Chiefs. But I guess I was just a week late. and I called the wrong team because I thought, again, I was going to see a lot more of Derek Carr and Devontae Adams, which he had a touchdown. Devontae Adams had a touchdown.
Right.
So that's still happening.
He's getting the looks. He's going to be the main touchdown target for that team.
Sure.
If there's an unhealthy Josh Jacobs, he will be the touchdown guy.
Which is, I'm a little bit worried for the Vegas running game now because of that issue. So
Right.
we'll just have to see going forward.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Next up, big divisional matchup: Chicago versus Green Bay. I think I jumped on the Chicago bandwagon on that one, right?
You said Chicago was going to win.
You
I was
traitorously
a
picked
realist.
Green Bay.
Well, the good thing I did.
Aaron Jones blew up that game, that's for sure.
Yeah, he did. I think I said last week, this is the game to play Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, which Raul did.
I think he's listening to us. I think we might have some sway with our league doing these podcasts.
That's hilarious. Granted, A.J. Dillon didn't do, a whole lot. He still got 7 points, but because Aaron Jones blew up, doubled his projection, made up for it.
I mean, he's still outcarried. Well, not outcarried in yards, but he had more touches on the carry than Jones.
I think I looked that up this morning. I think he just has overall more attempts than Jones, but Jones has more yardage. He just does more with the attempts he's given.
Yeah, Jones is getting old. He's up there. What is he, 30?
Ooh, Jones? I couldn't tell you. He's 27.
27, okay. 5 years. I thought he was pushing the peaks, but no, he's still good. He's only got 3 years on Dillon. But that's good. That's professionalism at that point.
Yeah. But yeah, they were just running through our Chicago run defense, as you can do. And just like Montgomery was running through the Green Bay Packer running defense.
Yeah, he had a great day. I got him in my starting lineup for next week. I'm excited for it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nice. Excellent. I like that. Yeah, I mean, 15 carries for 122 yards. Added on, 2 receptions for 14 yards.
He proved himself. He earned a spot. He's in my flex. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Sammy Watkins, again, we said he's now on the IR, was the leading receiver for the team. We'll see if Alan Lazard, Randall Cobbs, and Amari Rogers can show up.
My issue, I think I told you this before we started recording, is I kind of feel like the Green Bay receivers are kind of like the Baltimore Ravens are at this point.
No, yeah, you said that earlier in the podcast. Yeah,
okay, then
absolutely.
I'll probably cut that out.
No,
what I just did right now. I'll probably cut this out.
We're good. We're correcting as we go rather than have corrections at the beginning.
I mean, that was literally almost an hour ago I said that, so forgive me if I don't remember what I've said. Moving then along to the Tennessee-Buffalo game. I put wow, ... embarrassing. Because it wasn't in the beginning. In the beginning of the game, it was, whatever. Buffalo was ahead, but, as you expect. But then the third quarter, Tennessee just missed that fair catch. Then Buffalo recovered it, and then it was just game over pretty much at that point.
I think it was game over from the start, man.
With the Buffalo defense.
We're looking at Buffalo right now is going to trounce everybody.
Yeah, they're dangerous.
The way they're going, I don't think they're going to lose a game.
Whoa. Whoa.
Can I is it too early? Time for too early predictions.
You're blowing my mind right now. You don't think they're going to lose a game?
Buffalo going
even when
undefeated.
they go up against... Oh, I don't know if they go up against them. Okay. Okay.
Buffalo going undefeated.
You're saying that. I gotta write that down.
Yep.
Buffalo undefeated. Okay.
But there's going to be 1 week where I choose another team. I know it. Actually, there can't be. You can't go against Buffalo at this point. They are just too good. They had Tennessee benching Ryan Tannehill in the third quarter.
Yeah, who ended with negative points. So that's rough. Yeah, the Buffalo Bills defense, I think. And I said this week 1 how the defense was a star over the Rams. But, I mean, that's not downplaying Josh Allen and his receivers because they're all phenomenal players.
Yes.
It's just when you tack on that extra amazing defense, then the game is however you want to make the game. The game is literally yours to control.
They write the script.
And it's not like the offense is letting off the gas because the defense is taking up the bulk of the work. They're not.
And they have a defensive-minded head coach, which... As for a high-powered offense as they are, it's pretty amazing.
Stephon Diggs, 148 yards, 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns.
One of them was for over 40 yards, had 46 points. Not the highest receiver because, again, that went to Tyreek Hill.
Right.
Who, again,
also
Johnny has.
Save. Oh, Johnny, you suck, bro.
Johnny was the other third over 200 points this week.
Fucking Johnny.
Disgusting.
Dude, Taco, you're crazy.
But yeah, just a fun game, but an embarrassing game to watch. Because, man, Josh Allen was just airing stuff out. He ended the day with 317 yards, 4 touchdowns. Again, one of those touchdowns was that plus 40. 26 of 38, which is not a bad ratio. Just gross.
Okay.
King of the North, you bet. I like that name a lot.
Absolute King of the North.
Yeah.
200 Game of Thrones references. Let's do it.
I dig it.
Yeah, Malik Willis outscoring Ryan Tannehill with only playing 16 minutes of a football game. But this is exciting to see because I have Malik Willis on my taxi squad. I drafted him in my rookie draft. Just we'll see. He has a lot of potential.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And last but not least, Minnesota and Philly.
Surprised.
Yeah. Philly doing it 2-0. Jalen Hurts showing up, scoring 45 points, completing 26 for 31 for 333 yards.
Philly D shutting down Jefferson.
Yes, and Cook, and Dalvin Cook.
Yeah. I mean, the Philly D, I think, is something to be looked at. They're on the waiver wire.
Yeah, they're not owned.
They are not owned, and they are playing.
They're still going to get scored on, but, they're still under projecting.
They're playing Washington, which makes me nervous because, again, after seeing what Washington's been doing, they're not afraid to take some chances, and those chances have been working out for them a little bit. I mean, as far as fantasy-wise is concerned. So I don't know if I'd pick up the Philly defense and play him this week. You've got a day to figure it out. But
Interesting.
But yeah, Jalen Hurts, really good game for him.
Tinker. And Kez Watkins.
Yeah, so he's on my team. He's not startable, obviously. He's one of those guys. He's going to have those games, but then the next 3 games... Yeah, 20. But the next 3 games, he's going to have 3, 2...
Right. Only 2 targets, right. So he's looking at maybe a 5-point... He has a really low floor, but, now we do see his ceiling.
Sure, and I like that. And, again, I don't wish it on anybody, but if somebody gets hurt... in their receiving core, he's a guy that I might think about putting in a starting lineup, but just not yet.
Yeah, this game kind of makes me nervous for Minnesota.
Okay.
Overall, it was a bad showing, man.
Okay.
We see they're low. That's not good.
It is interesting coming off a really high division win against Green Bay.
Exactly.
And then coming in and then just poop in the bed.
Yeah, meh.
Yeah, a very meh outing for sure. I agree with that noise. But yeah, Kirk Cousins throwing 3 interceptions. Again, that's going against the Philly D, but yeah, it makes you nervous.
Right, and I might be eyeballing that Philly D now that it's on the waiver wire. We'll see. It could be a flyer.
Like I said, you've got about 7-10 hours to figure it out and lock it in before.
And I guess whoever listens to this podcast before then has that much time too.
I plan on this podcast being out at least before 6 o'clock.
Before football.
Before 6 o'clock tonight. So it should be out tonight, Saturday, the 24th. Well,
then I'm not going for the Eagles defense.
Not bidding $5 on the Eagles defense at all.
No. And with that week 2 review, we're going to take a break and be right back. And welcome back from the break. This is Pigskin Isn't Just for Cooking podcast. Commissioner of the Dish, Adam Bullock here with Evan Forbes, kissing cousins. Let's jump right into Thursday's game. We are now in week 3, doing it right. We're going to talk about Thursday game and go right into our predictions.
So before the game, we again made our picks Thursday. I chose the Browns.
I chose the Steelers, the big steal.
And I continue my Thursday 100% winning streak.
Man, yeah, you keep getting me on these Thursdays games. Next week though, I'm gonna get you.
It's because I always surprise you with them. All of a sudden, you just get a text out of nowhere. Hey, what's your pick for Thursday? And you got to make a snap decision.
Right.
That's what it is.
Unless did we already pick from last week? I don't know. Is it on our pick sheets?
What's that?
Thursday's game
For
our for week 4, our predictions.
For next week?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
They're not. So we do it always spur of the moment.
Yeah, we do that because I like to see what these games, this week's going to happen this week because I'm going to base that.
It's the rest of the... Yeah, never mind.
For sure.
Yep, I get it. Sorry.
It.
Yeah. Ugh. Ugh, rough week.
No, because I thought about that. No, I had the exact same thought in my head. I was like, why aren't we talking about the next Thursday? I'm like, oh, because I have no idea.
Because that's a whole nother week.
I got to see
We're
what
not on that
happens
week.
Sunday and Monday.
Right, exactly. Yeah, we're right there. Sorry, guys. I do apologize if we seem a little distracted today. A lot of stuff going on in our area.
Yeah.
And with dogs and
The
family.
the first segment, I think it clocked in at 50-something minutes, but it took us like an hour and 15 to record.
Yeah, there's just stuff going on. And again, we do apologize about that. But anyways, Cleveland taking it to Pittsburgh 29-17.
Yeah.
Was a really fun football game.
Yeah. You know, Brissett, decent game, threw for 220, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, his best game so far. And Amari Cooper, again, showing up as the number one target. We all knew that was going to happen. I guess I just didn't trust Amari Cooper yet. But
Sure.
he's in starting lineups at this point, as he should be.
Always. Well, he wasn't in Dan's starting lineup last week, and Dan still got over 200 points. So, yeah, there's that. But Dan did have Nick Chubb in this week, who scored him 17 points. He had 23 carries for, again, over 100 yards, 113, and one of those carries was a touchdown.
Yeah, good. I mean, Nick Chubb's the man over there.
He is the man.
He is the man.
Now, Kareem Hunt is behind him. You know, he is the 1A, I guess. He got, 47 yards on the ground, took him 12 carries to do it, and he only had 14 yards in the air. Yeah, Kareem Hunt didn't have his game he had in week 1 or week 2, really, but...
Yeah, he's the pass catching back. Really going to be about game script.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who knows. We always gonna rely on Nick Chubb. Play Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
At all times.
Always.
At this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trubisky almost hit projections in our league with almost 19 points, 18.98. He went 20 for 32, 270 yards with a touchdown and a sack. No interceptions. It was a good outing for him.
Yeah.
They just didn't
Couldn't finish it. Yeah.
I really thought they were going to come back for a
Yeah.
tie, but that last costly fumble by Najee Harris,
Yeah.
they had a chance. If they would have got the onside kick, which is always fun. I love seeing onside kicks. One of my favorite.
And we saw one work this last week.
Right. One of my
So,
favorite
yeah.
plays in football. Absolutely.
Yeah. And had Harris not got that fumble, he would have hit his projection. So that's why he didn't. No, you lose 1 point for a fumble, not 2 points.
I think it's 1 point.
So
yeah.
he would have almost hit his projection. It looks like that injury isn't really affecting him that much, but I still we'll keep an eye on it.
Oh yeah, it was good. We had well, we had on the posts, Johnny going all in. Oh, Najee, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right after his first touchdown, and then it was silence after that.
Dude, that's classic Johnny, dude. I love it. I love it.
Fun times.
Good game. I've got that one in the bag. So that brings my win total up to 7 now.
Oh, you're beating me, bro.
By 1, but again, we've had one extra game. So Leon's got 6 wins. I have 7 after Thursday's game. We've both picked 9 that have won, and we have 10 losses. That we
Combined,
both,
right?
Yeah, we both picked the loser 10 times.
Yes.
So
we're not perfect.
We both still have more wins than losses in our
Right.
projections.
We're
So.
doing okay. We're doing okay. So let's jump into the week 3 preview,
Yep.
right? So Pittsburgh Cleveland happened. The games to start at noon. Houston Chicago.
Yeah.
I'm a Chicago fan. Let's go Chicago.
This is the third time you've picked Chicago. No, the first week we didn't pick Chicago.
No, we picked San Francisco.
We sure did. This last week you picked Chicago. I did not. And you're going Chicago again. I am also going Chicago again.
Yeah,
I
really?
am.
Fantastic. Good to hear.
I think you can run against the Texans, and I think Montgomery is going to have another really good game. I assume he's obviously always in your lineup, and I think you're going to benefit from that a lot.
It's going to be a very close game. It's going to be, I think, a ground and pound.
Yeah.
I don't see too much going on through the air at this point. But Chicago's going to eke it out, maybe by 1 or 2 points. I don't see a blowout in the future for that game.
No, I also am ready to see what Damian Pierce will do against this run defense. I think he will have a better game against Chicago, but I still think Chicago's going to take it.
Yeah, fantastic. I agree. Next up, Las Vegas at Tennessee. At Tennessee, that was a tough one for me, but I think Vegas is going to look for their first win.
Yeah.
And they're going to do it against Tennessee. And my basis is coming off last week's performance against the Bills.
For Tennessee, for sure. I'm also picking Las Vegas. I thought they were going to do it last week. I was all in, last week for Vegas. They didn't do it. I think they're going to do it this week. And again, some of that does come off the Monday game at Tennessee. Yeah, I think Vegas is the better team.
Gotcha. Agreed. Next up, Kansas City at Indy. I actually, when we were talking, I just changed my pick.
Who did you originally have?
I had Kansas City.
Okay.
But I think Indy they're going to want it.
Why?
This is going to be hungry.
Why do you, just because of that?
Because I'm all in on Indy, bro.
They were one of your Super Bowl picks, absolutely.
They're going to have to turn around. They're the only team last week to not score points. And they're at home against one of the toughest teams they're going to face.
And you were picking Indy for these reasons? Okay.
Yeah, teams step up, man. People step up to the pressure. They're going to have their full team. Michael Pittman's going to be back, which will help open up everything. If you have a good run game, opens up the receiving game. You got a good receiving game, opens up the run game. I think they're going to figure out a weird way to beat Kansas City.
You think it's going to be a bounce back game for Jonathan Taylor from last week?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Jonathan Taylor has the capability.
Sure.
To run through Kansas City.
Okay.
They're going to drop him off at Kansas City the day before. He's going to run through it. Jog through it, just making waves.
No, they're at Indy.
Right. And then, but then they're going to go to Indy and he's going to do it for real.
Oh, okay. I am picking Kansas City if I didn't say that.
No, right. We knew you did. I figured, I already knew that you picked Kansas City for some weird reason. Okay. After that, potential for the highest scoring game of the week, Buffalo, Miami. But I don't think Buffalo's going to let Miami win this game.
No, I am also picking Buffalo. But after watching the Miami Ravens game last week, obviously you don't count Miami out because they can come back and, a miracle comeback is what I heard a couple of times in the announcers watching the highlights for the Miami-Baltimore game.
I hate that word.
And so do I. But, yeah, they did work and came back. It's going to be a tough game. I like your highest possible scoring game.
I don't think it's going to be the highest.
Okay.
But it has the possibility to.
Okay.
But we've seen Buffalo defense stifle teams.
Sure.
And I think they have a chance to do that again against Miami.
I like it.
Next up, which I actually think is going to be the highest scoring game.
Okay.
Detroit, Minnesota.
I'm two-starring that one. Highest scoring game.
But I'm picking Minnesota over Detroit. It's a very even game to me.
Okay.
But I think Minnesota will eke it out. I think it'll be one of those 40-plus yards receptions to Justin Jefferson that's just going to put it over the edge. Mm-hmm. We know Detroit's going to score a lot of points on Minnesota, but they're also going to give up a lot of points to Minnesota, and that's just going to be the edge. That's my standpoint.
And I agree with everything you're saying. Minnesota is back at home. Another division game. So we just did this 2 weeks ago against Green Bay. I think they're going to have a really good game. I still think Detroit's going to come back and win it this time.
Yeah, you're picking Detroit?
I am picking Detroit.
Man,
Absolutely.
I like that.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy that you picked Detroit because I wanted to, but this one I'm going with Minnesota.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Next up, Baltimore, New England.
Yeah. Baltimore at New England.
At New England. I'm going to go with Baltimore, man.
I am too.
Unless they give a game away again, they got this game in the bag.
Their special teams is on fire with Devernay, and it's flashes of Hester in my eyes. He's a guy that...
best returner in the league right now.
Yeah,
After that is maybe Berrios on the Jets.
Yeah. I like, for some of these games that I'm not really sure on, I always, the classic, who's the better quarterback? Lamar Jackson is clearly the better quarterback, so that's why I'm picking Baltimore.
Gotcha. Nice one, nice one. Okay, Cincinnati, New York Jets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with the Jets.
So am I.
Whoa! I'm actually really surprised by that.
Honestly, I think, the Bengals, they are making me nervous. Their O-line and Burrow's hesitation is just, it's not doing it for me, man. And watching the Jets play last week with Flacco, yeah, I think the Jets are going to, and they're playing at home. They're coming off a huge comeback win, dude.
Yeah.
I think the Jets are going to take it.
I like it. I'm so happy that we picked the same Jets. That's so fun. Next up, Philly at Washington.
Back and forth for this one for me.
Philly's the hot hand.
Philly is the hot hand. Philly has the better defense. Washington has been playing good when they get backed into a corner as far as being able to make big plays. We've seen that because of their receiver stats. I'm picking Washington, though, over the Eagles.
Yeah, you're going to take Washington
I am
over the
taking
Eagles?
Washington.
I think, all right, well, I'm picking Philly. I think it's going to be a Miles Sanders game.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to blow up, and an A.J. Brown.
I do like this game because you got Wentz playing against the Eagles. And again, I just said it.
The secret matchup.
Yeah,
I love that.
and I just said, I go to quarterbacks. I think Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Carson Wentz, but I still think the Commanders are going to take this game.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Just because I think they're going to have to. I think they do work when they're kind of backed in.
Oh,
I think it's going to be a tough game for them, and I think they're going to capitalize on it.
Never corner a commander into a corner.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a couple big plays that do it. But
awesome.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Washington.
Very fun. New Orleans at Carolina. New Orleans having a tough beat. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if Jameis Winston's going to play. If he does play, New Orleans is going to win. If he doesn't, Carolina has a shot.
Mm-hmm.
But I like New Orleans defense better. I'm going to pick New Orleans.
I am also picking New Orleans, also probably because of their defense, because they might not have Kamara, and if they do, he's not going to be 100%. So, and yeah, Jameis did it right that time, not Jemias. Jameis Winston, yeah, if he doesn't play, you've got Taysom Hill.
Yeah, scary. Can do it. What a tight end play that would be, huh?
No kidding. Beatles got him, right? No, Beatles
no,
have
he just got dropped. Interesting.
Did he get dropped? Taysom
Someone
Hill
got dropped this week.
If
to
he
pick
did,
up
it was probably
else.
Daskell that dropped him.
Daskell dropped him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. For someone else. I can't remember. I'm actually going to look that up real quick.
Okay. But yeah.
So, just, yeah.
Yeah, I got you. I am still picking New Orleans. Yeah, they're another one of my Super Bowl picks, and I am getting a little nervous about that pick right now.
Yeah, Taysom Hill dropped for Cole Beasley.
Wow.
Which
Cole Beasley on Buffalo?
Yeah. No. He was Buffalo last year. He's been a free agent.
Giant?
He got picked up by Tampa Bay. Because they are out Mike Evans. Julio Jones and Chris Godwin are on the end, I think are out. So it's going to be the Fournette or Cole Beasley show. Cameron Brate, I brought that up earlier.
I thought he was going to do work last week, but he didn't do a whole lot of work.
That's
I'm going to probably eat my words at the end of the season, but man, I just don't think Tampa Bay receivers are going to do as well as everybody thinks they are.
We'll see.
Because of Brady.
Yeah, we are not at that game yet.
No.
But we will get there.
Mm-hmm.
Next up then is Jacksonville at the Chargers.
Yeah.
Chargers,
yeah. Even though Jacksonville did put the Colts in their place this past week, right? Was Jacksonville that played the Colts?
Yeah.
That shut them down?
Oh, yeah. Shut them down.
I still think, it's a Rams game. You still
Not
have
Rams, Chargers.
Or Chargers game, yeah. Justin Herbert, again, he's not going to be 100%. I guarantee he goes out there and plays at least 3/4 of the game.
Think so?
I think so.
I'm 50-50 on that. But I still think the Chargers are going to do it.
He's had 10 days of rest, baby. He's good. God, I hope he's good.
Yeah, I know. Because you're starting him.
I tell you, I'm going to be honest, man. You know, I've been in the playoffs.
You might want to move him to your flex.
Oh, I don't know if I'm making playoffs this year. I've done it for a few years. I've had really good
I'm writing
years.
that one down.
I don't think I'm making playoffs.
Evan Forbes not making playoffs.
I am not psyched on my team right now, so we'll
Ooh,
see.
buddy.
But yeah, Rams over Jacksonville, not probably a whole lot to talk about.
2
with that.
weeks of football and already saying he's not making playoffs. Spoken like a past champion over
Like a
here.
real and a guy who's also lost every single game of the season. So I'm not doing that this year. I got my one win.
You did go winless one season.
Oh boy.
There's only been 2 people who have done that.
Yeah, and we're both champions.
And then they both came back to be champions.
God damn right.
And I love it. I love it so much. After that, after that game, it is the Rams versus Arizona. At Arizona, I'm actually gonna pick Arizona on this matchup.
After last week's showing against the Raiders.
No, just the Rams are getting scored on.
Yeah, but they're also scoring.
Yeah. Oh, in the first half against, Buffalo, but that is Buffalo. I just think Arizona's going to eke it out. This has the potential to be the highest scoring game, but I'm still sticking strong to
Detroit, Minnesota.
That's
like
going to
it.
be, yeah.
I'm taking the Rams.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, I'm taking Rams.
Arizona's going to win, though.
Okay.
A tough one coming up to pick. Atlanta at Seattle.
I erased my pick. I originally picked a team, and then I changed my mind, not last minute, but
Seattle's good at home.
yeah.
They have one of the toughest stadiums to play in.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to believe in Atlanta. They're the Rudy of the NFL this year.
Seems like it. They've got so much potential now. I mean, you got Cordell Patterson, you got Drake London. Marcus Mariota is starting to
He's not a
do some
slouch.
work.
He's
No,
no
he's not.
slouch.
He's a big quarterback.
Yeah.
And he's starting to move around a little bit. He's starting to make some plays.
Let's get it, Atlanta. Atlanta over Seattle?
Heck yeah, that's what
We,
I changed
we both.
it to.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay, I
I'm
convinced
going,
you.
I'm going to Atlanta. You
That's
didn't convince
great.
me. I changed it before all this. Jeez.
Next up, Green Bay at Tampa Bay.
This was the hardest pick I think I had to make against who's going to win this game.
I actually erased Tampa Bay and picked Green Bay. It's the Battle of the Bays.
Did you? Oh, nice. Bay battle.
The Battle of the Bays. I'm actually going to go Green Bay over Tampa Bay.
Really?
Yeah.
And obviously you originally picked Tampa Bay because it's the better defense.
Yes, I picked Tampa Bay because they do have a superior defense. But then after our conversations, I realized that they're depleted. They're depleted offense.
The receiver core. I mean, Green Bay, they don't have Sammy Watkins this week.
Or for the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Well, yeah. I will notice that Raul has taken A.J. Dillon out of his lineup. Last week he flexed both Jones and Dillon against the Bears.
Last I looked, he was flexing both again, but he took them out, huh?
From what I see, he only
Interesting.
has Aaron Jones in his flex.
Yeah, Tampa Bay D is tough to compete against, but Battle of the Bays is going to the green.
Nope. Tampa Bay is going to do it.
Next up for the Sunday night game, one of the prime times, San Francisco at Denver.
Yeah.
I'm giving the favorites to the Mile High Stadium, Denver.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
I think they're going to figure out a way to win.
Okay. I like that.
New coach got to prove himself. Let's go. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
They got to prove themselves, and this is the game to do it.
And this game will decide how I feel about Russell Wilson going forward, because I think he usually hasn't impressed me a whole lot on the Broncos right now. He's getting up there, and I think he's kind of just like a weird guy in general.
Just sit there and say, hey, guys, I'm here to throw the football.
It's kind of weird.
I'm Russ Wilson.
No, I think it's going to be San Francisco's game, even though you are, coming off a bad injury from Lance, and that's going to affect your team going forward, just mentally. But I think they're still a tough team. They've got playmakers still, including Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh yeah, he can still play ball for sure.
So I think they're going to continue winning, and I think they're going to go 2-1. So
Awesome.
San Francisco.
I like it. Let's move on to Monday.
Last game.
The last game, Dallas at the Giants.
This is the second primetime game for Dallas in 3 weeks. They got a Sunday night, and now they get a Monday night.
Yeah, they are. Well, they're the money team of football. They have to be. Jerry Jones knows what he's doing.
They're the Yankees of football.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, let's leak some drama. They have to have like a hell of a PR department. They're leak drama. Let's be in all the headlines.
Yeah.
Let's still win with a backup quarterback. I mean, he still wants to win football, but
Right.
the dude's a businessman.
Yeah, but first and foremost,
Yeah.
it's not a game; it's a business.
Yes,
For sure. So, and they're playing in New York.
I'm going Giants.
Yeah,
Yes,
me too.
Giants are 2-0.
Now they're gonna be 3-0.
They're gonna be 3-0. Yes, that's
Dude,
so exciting.
I'm excited to see the Giants succeed this year. Talking about teams that you always want to see come back and do some good things. Yeah, the Giants aren't the best team in the league, but they have a better record than most of the league.
Oh,
right
yeah.
now. So take that however you want. But yeah, I would love to see the Giants trump the Cowboys on Monday night.
And it's possible. It's a home game. You gotta. I like the home court advantage for that one.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah.
but thanks. That was good. Thank you for listening, everybody. It's been a great podcast. We hope to, provide for you next week. Actually, next week I might not be here.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I will be in New Orleans.
Safe trip, by the way.
Thank you.
Getting there and getting back. I'm excited for you. Yeah, we'll figure next week out. If you're not up for it, maybe me and maybe Dan can hash something out, or maybe I'll just
Dan
go
might be
solo.
our first guest speaker, or if
Yeah.
he's busy, you run it solo. It'll be nice as fun. You can just be talking to yourselves.
Yeah, then it's gonna be like a 2-hour podcast.
Too much rambling.
'Cause nobody's here to shut me up. So,
But anyways, this is Adam Bullock, your commission with the dish, with Evan Forbes. Thank you for listening.
we'll see you guys next week.